Welcome to Couch Convo with Coach Karla, where current events and mental health converge. Thank you so much for joining us. I am joined with my special guest, Natasha A. Harris.
Hello.
The name of her business is A Mouthful Publishing.
Yes.
And so Natasha is a visionary entrepreneur. She is your one-stop solution for unlocking the full potential of your business endeavors. She has a unique blend of writing expertise, mentorship for aspiring writers, and a touch of inspiration for those cherishing sentimental keepsakes. Natasha offers a personalized experience tailored to each individual. She navigates the intricate realms of writing, publishing, and marketing. She simplifies those processes, bringing clarity and ease to the lives of college students, seasoned business owners, and aspiring entrepreneurs. So again, we want to welcome Natasha Harris.
Hey.
Hey, thank you so much for joining us.
No problem.
So let's start off. Let's tell people how we met. I think
Okay.
that's an interesting story. You want to tell it, or you want me to tell it? I'm gonna let you
can
tell
start
it.
off.
Oh, okay.
And then
Okay, so I was hosting an event entitled Candid Curated Conversations, and it was an event for women to come together, basically to encourage and empower each other in our relationships. I'm gonna simplify it like that. And Natasha came, and it was a wonderful experience to
Absolutely.
have her as a guest. She was very participative and added to the commentary that we had, and we had fun.
we had a lot of fun.
Okay.
We had a whole lot of fun. The conversations were amazing. Just hearing everybody's stories.
Yeah.
Being able to provide more insight and encouragement. Because,
Yeah.
we live in a time where it's kind of discouraging to date and have relationships. But
Yeah.
I'm glad we did have the conversation so that people can open back up to love. I'm such a love person.
Yeah, love is out there.
Yes.
Romance is in the air.
Mm-hmm.
So getting off into what Natasha does, tell us a little bit about your company and how you got started.
So I moved back to Memphis
Oh.
in 2000 and my daughter was born in 2017. So I moved back to Memphis from Dallas in 2017, and I decided that I wanted to publish a book.
Okay.
But prior to the idea of publishing a book, I had started a blog,
Oh.
and the blog was called A Mouthful.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And it's titled A Mouthful because, like you said, I participate in conversations. I'm not afraid to say a lot of things.
Yeah. And that's good.
I started the blog. When I moved back to Memphis, I decided to publish my first book.
Yeah.
I published my first book in 2018.
Okay.
And then, actually, it wasn't a publishing service at first. It was
Okay.
writing. So I was helping with resumes. I was helping with college papers. Anything business-wise, I was helping with.
Okay.
And so that's how that started. But then maybe like 2 years after I published my first book, that's when a lot of people started asking me to help publish their books.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, let's see what we can do.
Okay.
And it just took off like that.
That's good. That's a good story. And so what was the name of the book that your very first book that you published?
My first book is titled My Love Journal.
Oh, okay.
And it's by a mouthful. All of my books are by a mouthful. I have 4 different books out now.
Okay.
And they're all journals.
Okay.
So you have My Love Journal, My Love Journal 2, My Encouragement Journal, which is one you can write in with
Okay.
questions. And then the fourth book is My Encouragement Journal 2.
Okay.
So you have 4 different books.
Okay, so you basically have like 2 different sets. Okay, that's
Yep.
good. Okay, I like that. I like when somebody takes something and then builds on it, and then
Yeah.
I love that. Okay, so was there a defining moment that made you say that you have to help others publish their own work?
Yes. So when I published my first book, it was hard. I couldn't enjoy it because I was figuring everything out.
Right.
And so when I got my first client, it was exciting and it felt great to help somebody else because navigating that process is hard.
It is.
knowing those intricate dimensions and details and everything about book publishing
Right.
is a lot of research and it takes a lot of time.
Yeah. Yeah. Now I'm agreeing with her because some of you know, some of you don't. I published a book as well in 2020. It came out right before the pandemic,
Oh.
which was interesting. I mean, I'm glad that it came out at that time
Yeah.
because people really needed it. And it's called Learning to Love Me, interestingly.
Oh,
So
I gotta get that.
yeah.
Definitely gotta get that.
So, but it was a hard process in terms of sitting there and trying to figure out everything on your own. And I honestly can say, if you don't have somebody to walk you through it, you can get discouraged. And honestly, that's what happens to a lot of people. You know, a lot of people talk about they want to write a book, but you know, 5, 6, 7 years later, they still haven't done it. Yeah, they still haven't done it. And so it's better to have somebody to walk you through that process. And
Absolutely.
I think that's what Natasha does.
Yes.
Okay.
That's exactly what I do.
Okay, good. All right. How does your company support new authors?
Pretty much just encouragement. I have consultations, of course, just to see where they are in the process.
Okay.
A lot of people have already written their books,
Right.
and they just need editing, book cover design, and publishing. Where a lot of people have not written anything.
Okay. Okay.
So I do help with ghostwriting. I do help with book coaching, and just providing them the time and the space and a document where they're able to use and write it.
Okay.
So
what types of people come to you who need ghostwriting or like a book that's ghost written? Is it a certain industry or a certain type of person?
I wouldn't say it's a certain industry. I wouldn't say it's a type of person because I've helped ghostwrite a credit repair book.
Okay. Okay.
I've helped ghostwrite a book about this lady had postpartum. Right now, this lady actually used audio. And she recorded herself saying something.
Yeah.
And so I'm taking the audio and putting it into like a Microsoft Word document.
Okay.
So it really just depends on where the person is in the process, but I'm able to help.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why should a person consider ghostwriting a book or using ghostwriting services?
A lot of times I feel like people use ghostwriting when they don't want to write it.
Okay.
That's one. They don't know where to start. A lot of people come to me with like an outline.
Yeah.
And they say, these are the topics that I want to talk about.
Okay.
Or these are the target points that I want to hit. And so I just take their outline, or I'll sit on the phone with them, and we come up with an outline.
Okay.
And decide what it is that they want to talk about, and then we go from there.
Okay. Can you tell people, now you do this if you want to, can you tell people what kind of an investment it is to, hire a ghostwriter?
It's a huge investment. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
It's a huge investment. The time, trusting someone, the money, because it's not cheap
Right.
to get a ghostwriter to write your book.
Okay.
It's gonna cost you at least $5,000.
Okay. All right. I just wanted the audience to have an idea of what the investment is, so they can go ahead and get their coins together if that's what they need
And
to
trust
do.
the process. But
Yeah.
that's with any client, not just
Yeah.
ghostwriting. Trust the process.
Yeah.
It's book publishing is a process.
Yeah. And we're being told as entrepreneurs or business owners and even content creators that we need a book to help validate us and add credibility. So that
Leverage.
might be something that, people in the audience want to consider.
Yeah.
If they don't feel like writing it, consider getting someone to, like Natasha, to ghostwrite your book for you so that you can have that out there.
It'll provide a little bit more leverage in the industry that they're in or whatever they're doing. Let's just say you are a beautician.
Yeah.
Getting
Ooh.
that book out there for your beauty shop or
Yeah.
your styles or your
Yeah.
material or products that you use.
Yeah.
Let's just say you are an esthetician and you want to give tips. You can put a book out there about that. So,
Yeah. It helps that person look like more of an expert. Yep.
Yep.
Okay. So is there like a typical process of working with your company from rough draft to the published book?
Yes, it is. So typically with a rough draft, I ask, of course, we go through the whole contract thing, the whole estimate thing.
Yeah.
I get the piece, I review it. Based off the review, I give the person like a snippet of the services that I feel like they need based off the product that they gave me.
Right.
After that, we get a project plan together.
Okay. Okay.
And I kind of put together dates to tell them, like, your manuscript would be ready to be reviewed on this day. Your book cover will be ready to be reviewed on this day. This is the day we'll talk about the design for the book cover. This is the time we'll review your manuscript and have it approved. You get a project plan, and then we start the process.
Okay. And then, like, if I were to contact you and I have a book that I've written and I want you to publish it for me, how often might we meet, or do we what does that look like?
I would say at least once a week.
Okay.
Or twice a week, at least, just a check-in point.
Okay.
If somebody gives me an already put together product, we call it a manuscript.
Yes, yes, yes.
If somebody gives me a manuscript, I typically give them 2 to 3 month time frame.
Good.
So it's not going to take long. So in that time frame, we're covering editing, we're covering book cover design, we're covering sales, going over marketing tips. I'm covering giving them information about copywriting their books. If they have a business, I'm providing them information about trademarking their business. So it's a lot.
Yeah, it is a lot. It is a lot. Were there any challenges that you faced early on when you first started your company that you can share with us?
I'll say a few things. One thing was I didn't know everything.
Okay.
I literally had to start, because I published my first book. Of course, I had other people like do my book cover. I had other people like edit my first book. But I feel like I had to learn how to do book covers. I had to learn that if it's a certain amount of pages in the book, the dimensions of the book cover had to be a certain length and
dimension.
Width.
Yeah, the dimensions. Yeah.
So there were a lot of things that I had to learn. I had to learn about business because, coming from corporate and then now I have my own business where I have to wear all the hats.
Yeah.
That's pretty challenging. Customer service is fine. I got that.
Yeah.
But like accounting, keeping up with your books, doing your taxes, like all of that was new to me.
Okay. All right. So do you have people who assist you with those things, or are you an entrepreneur who does it all yourself?
I pretty much do everything by myself.
Okay.
I do outsource.
Good.
I do have a illustrator.
Yeah.
I do have a graphic designer for the book cover. So the illustrator helps with children's books. So they help design sketches and everything for the illustrations for the children's books. Okay. So I have learned how to outsource.
Yeah. Yes, honey.
And that helps with timing too.
Yes.
So I won't spend so much time putting together a book cover when I can just call my graphic designer and be like, hey, I put together this. Can you put this book cover together? Here are the dimensions. Do your thing. Okay.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
How have you had to pivot your services in response to industry trends? Have you had to do that at all?
I think the most recent trend is the audiobooks.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So just offering those services. And then another thing that just recently came up is people are trying to rebrand their books. So I call it a book rejuvenation.
Okay. Okay.
A book rejuvenation package.
Yes.
And so we review the manuscript and I say, okay, what do you feel like need to be changed in here, or how do you want to see it, or let me see your book cover, and then we discuss different ideas about what the book cover can look like. And then we reform everything and then republish it. Okay.
I love the title, Book Rejuvenation. It made me think about another service that's being offered right now, but I can't say it because we got a baby in the room. So, yeah. All right. Okay. Yes. This is really important. What mindset shifts are essential for authors stepping into the creative and entrepreneurial role?
Okay. One, trust the process. That's always number one. Trust the process. And then I feel like two, be open because there might be changes that need to be made. There may be obstacles that may come in between times. Like I've had people be like, okay, something happened, so I can't make payments. So we got to halt and we got to figure out a different alternative, and we got to come back to it.
Right.
Let me see what else I can give everybody. Trust the process and just be prepared to work. Because it's self-publishing. I help people self-publish their books. I'm not a traditional company, and that's a lot of I don't want to say misconception, but I don't really think people do their research. They look for a publisher, but they don't know the difference between a traditional publisher and a somebody that's helping them self-publish their books.
Right, right.
So I help people self-publish their books. So creativity is everything, because you can do whatever you want to do when you self-publish your book, which is what I absolutely love, because when you go to a traditional company, you got to publish it the traditional way.
Yeah.
But self-publishing gives you the leverage to use pictures and design the inside however you see fit. Like, I love that.
Good. That's good. Now, where can people expect to see their book? Like, where will people be able to purchase their book if they work with you?
A lot of people I help publish on Amazon, on Barnes & Noble, and Apple Book.
Okay.
So they're able to do that. I am starting some partnerships with some local bookstores in Memphis. So once I get all of that put together, we'll have a little bit more range. I have partnered with a company in New York, actually.
Oh, okay.
And they're helping with marketing, so book reviews, a lot of sales, a lot of marketing, just trying to get the books out into different spaces, doing like press releases and stuff, like digital press releases, or finding different cities to put the books in. So
okay. Now, do you have a platform? I know I've seen you on social media, on Facebook. What types of information do you share on your platform with your audience?
I help with like resources. I do help put that out there. I do give like little tips, like, encouragement, just telling them to continue writing. Don't give up writing. I do provide like the links to copyright, the links to trademarking. There is an ebook that I have that basically gives you the beginner guide for how to start writing and publishing your book. So there are a lot of little tidbits. Yep.
So if someone, let's say someone, because a lot of people are in different places in the process. So let's say there's an author who has a physical book, but they want to do an ebook. Is that something you can assist them with as well?
Yep.
Okay.
So we do Kindle Direct Publishing, and that portion is, what is it, Kindle? Yep, Kindle is the ebook version.
Oh, okay, I got you. Okay. And there have been some changes with Amazon, KDP, and all of that that I'm not familiar with now, because it's been a while, a minute since I published my book. I actually used two different, I'm gonna call them printers in this case. But Lulu was one of them. Okay. And then also,
I do provide those different resources too. Lulu, you got Ingram Sparks. You got another one that's really new. It's called Digital to Print.
Oh, okay.
And that one has several platforms that you can upload your book, and then it goes to those different platforms.
All right. Okay. Good. So how do you stay inspired to your own creativity while you're also manning, being the CEO of your business?
So I literally just had this conversation with somebody, because I'm a journaler. Yes. By nature. I've always been like this, and that's that's why I published my love journal.
Okay.
But I'm a journaler by nature. But lately I've been finding myself like being stagnant with my journaling.
Okay.
So I said I was gonna buy me a camera.
Okay.
And I was going to start my own little photography, personal little thing for myself. Just something I had, picking up a new hobby.
Okay, picking up something new. I like photography as well. Well, look, I must be honest and say I like being in the picture, okay?
See, I don't like being in the picture, but people like getting the picture.
You got to get in it, because you are the CEO of Mouthful Publishing.
Well, that's one of the challenges, too.
Yeah.
The challenges I had, too. I was my friend basically had to tell me one day, say out your mouth, I am a book publisher.
Yeah.
Because I was like, yeah, I publish books, but I would like shy away from it. But now I'm like, yeah, I publish books. I
Yeah.
have people publish
Yeah.
books. That's what I do.
And I'm glad you said that to say it out loud, because I think people, when I talk to therapy or coaching clients about mindset shift, I think people feel like just because we had a conversation about it, that's it. It's something that we have to work on, and that means it can mean doing mirror work, standing in front of the mirror saying I am a publisher, or whatever it is that we're, challenged with. But also, spending time saying it to yourself, writing it down. It takes work. You don't get to just sit there and be like, okay, that's it, my mindset shift is done. No, you got to work on the mindset shift.
And then like even the social media posts.
Yeah.
So I used to be like, I don't want to post all of that about my business. People gonna be like, why are you posting all of this about your business? But I was like, I got to make some money.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
Bring me my coins.
I have a child to feed.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. And that's a part of that is, and I think it's, I'm going to say for me, it's making this decision of what to share. Like your personal life, you don't have to share everything.
No.
And I'm saying that for the benefit of the audience. I mean, you can say, oh, okay, I went shopping this weekend, but you don't have to tell people, for example, exactly what you bought if you don't want to.
Because I've even gotten to the point where I won't post when I'm at a specific place.
Okay.
I'll post it once I get home.
Oh.
Oh
well, yeah. So people don't exactly know where you are.
Yeah.
No, that's very important.
Yeah.
Or it can be for safety and security. Yeah. And we in Memphis, so we want to be careful about. And I'm teasing. I'm being
and
funny.
then you never know.
Yeah.
Because it's so weird. But this older guy, I talked to him on the phone.
Okay.
And then he showed up in my office. But the interaction was like a little weird.
Okay.
But just knowing like the safety part is important. Knowing that my business is growing, so more people are seeing me. Yeah. So I got to be a little bit more careful with where I am, who I'm with, just my location.
Yeah, and that that brings up the point of your as an entrepreneur, as you continue to grow, your life will change. Your life is not going to stay the same.
It's not.
So you can go ahead and get ready for that. Get ready.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. What's been the most heartwarming or transformational success story you've had the chance to be a part of?
I've had a few. So I've helped like a high school class put together a collaboration of short stories.
Oh wow.
I'm doing a scholarship. Well, this is my second year doing a scholarship for a high school student. I help them write a book and then I give them $1,000 scholarship.
Okay.
Of course, I've done many vending events, but I feel like the most inspiring is when you get to talk to kids. You get to talk to high school kids, and you get to like, let me see, about 2 months ago, I did a career fair for kids, and just seeing them walk around and seeing other, not so much of a job, but seeing like different businesses that they can be a part of. Yeah. And not just go get a 9-to-5.
Right.
Even though being a business owner is hard, I don't want anybody to sleep on it. Being a business owner is hard, but having those examples in front of them is really important.
That's good. Yeah. That's a chance for you to make an impact on the next generation, and they need help with opening their minds up to different possibilities.
Absolutely.
And understanding that they don't have to just pick one thing in life either. We're at a time where multiple streams of income.
Yes.
And it is a shift from where my parents were. The goal was to get on a job and stay on a job.
Go to college.
Yeah.
Get a job.
Yeah. and
get a job.
It's not, it's not turning out that way. It's not yielding those same results,
Because I would even suggest like a certification. So of course I have a mouthful my business, but I have a real job too.
Yeah.
So I'm a project manager.
Oh, that's right.
If somebody would have told me that coming out of college at 18 years old, I can get a project management certification and I would start out as a salary no less than $60,000, I wouldn't have never went to college.
Oh, okay. I didn't, because, I was like, okay, 18. Okay, I didn't realize you were understanding. I mean, you were saying that you don't have to go to college to do that. Wow. No, I didn't know.
Like IT, project management, anything techie.
Yeah.
I feel like people need to start paying a little bit more attention to.
Yeah. Now I knew about tech, but not the project management field. So that's real good.
Yeah.
Okay. Are there any new or upcoming projects that you're working on that you'd like to share with us?
Ooh, I have a few.
Okay.
Of course, I am working on my first fictional book.
Oh, okay.
It's not ready yet, but I'm excited to have my characters and have my theme of how I want my story to go, and my scenes, how I want those to go. But I'm working on my first fictional book.
Okay.
Let me see what else is exciting. I'll be in a movie soon.
Ooh,
So
come on now.
Probably gonna be a little 2B movie, a little Paramount movie.
Okay.
But let me see what else.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I got a few things going on. That's why I said multiple streams of income. So not only I got my job, I got my business. I'm a notary. Like,
okay.
I do a whole lot of things, and mommying and all of that good stuff.
So how do you, with all those different things on your plate, how do you make the time to work on your book?
I literally have to force myself. I'm not gonna lie. I have to force myself. The last book I just published, I think it was in like January. But I had to force myself because it's been a couple of years since I published a book. But I published my 4th book this year in January, this 2025. The book prior to this one, I think was in 2020.
Okay, right, yeah.
So it took me a minute to be like, okay, Tasha, buckle down. Let's get this next book out.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's important for people to set aside a certain time every day or a certain time each week so that they can get their project out. It doesn't just happen.
You have to prioritize it. And then I'm one of those procrastinators.
Okay.
So I be like, okay, I only got a week. So let me put this together and get this done.
Okay. All right. How do people contact you if they want to work with you, and how do they follow you on social media?
I have a Facebook page. It's A Mouthful. It's at a.mouthful.
Okay.
And then you have, is it a.mouthful24? Yep, on Facebook. And then on Instagram, it's at a.mouthful. Of course, I have a TikTok. Just search A Mouthful. Okay. It'll be on there. And of course, my website is www.amouthful.info.
Okay, amouthful.info. Okay, that's the website. Okay.
Yep.
And then on that website, can we see books that you've helped writers publish?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
You have Google reviews. You have other people's books. I call them the storyteller page. Yeah. So you have children's books, children interact. You got poems. You have just different genres on one of the pages. You have a page where you can submit inquiries. You have all types. Okay, good. So it's a very user-friendly website. Thank you so much for joining us tonight for Couch Convo with Coach Karla. Again, she is Natasha A. Harris with A Mouthful Publishing. You can follow her on social media, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and allow her to help you walk you through the publishing process for your book. You can Google A Mouthful Publishing Services.
Okay,
and
Google.
It'll pop up on Google.
All right, okay. Thank you so much for joining us. We're going to go to a commercial break, and then we're going to talk to another special guest when we come back.
Can you actually imagine hosting your next event at the all-new SVP Banquet and Event Center? Yes, spacious, beautiful venue with plenty of parking, located in the heart of East Memphis. Let us host your next intimate birthday gathering, family repast, bachelorette party, wedding and reception, baby shower, corporate meeting, social club event. Call us today. Don't wait. 901-244-6874. The all-new SVP Banquet and Event Center.
Ladies, do you feel feminine during your feminine flow? You know, your monthly cycle, your period? Are you still suffering in silence? The suffering is over. it's time to choose Rain. Rain is an all-natural, premium sanitary napkin with 8 layers of cotton, high-grade polymers, graphene to help cut bacteria by 99.9%. Ladies, let's protect the most precious jewel in the world, you.
Rain Premium Sanitary Napkins do not make any medically backed claims or personal recommendations of any kind. For more information, contact Marilyn McGee. Rock and Roll Party Bites, the perfect way to celebrate any occasion in Memphis. Rock and Roll Party Bites, a lively tour guide, your favorite music, and great scenery. Church group, family reunions, corporate outings, fun for all over 10 years old. It's a memorable experience. Bachelors, bachelorette parties, book now. Our fleet of bikes accommodates up to 16 riders. Book now. It's Rock and Roll Party Bites.
Welcome back to Couch Convo with Coach Karla, where current events and mental health converge. I am joined by my special guest, Miss Karla Norman. Karla is a teeth whitening specialist and
A singer,
a singer,
a songwriter,
a songwriter,
an
an
artist,
artist.
creative.
Okay, she is a creative. She's my friend. I consider her to be my little sister.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So tell us a little bit about yourself and what inspired you to become a dental professional.
So a little bit about me. I'm born and raised in Memphis, Tennessee. I would say I'm a pretty down-to-earth person. Like I just said, I enjoy singing, performing, being around friends, family, and I do teeth whitening.
Yes. And she just whitened my teeth
I did. Oh, yeah.
a couple of weeks ago.
Get into it.
Get into it. So you can go ahead and tell them how many shades were you able to brighten my teeth?
You went up about like 2 to 3 shades, and what we did was we did a 50-minute session. So usually my services will be 1 hour or a 1 hour and 20 minutes. So you got a 60-minute session and an 80-minute session. What we did, I was doing like a special, and it was 50 minutes.
Okay, I was just gonna say, now you know I'm doing an hour. What happened to my 10 minutes? Okay, no, I'm just playing. I'm just playing with you. And y'all's Kyla's teeth are very pretty and white.
Thank you.
Yes. Okay. So what made you want to do cosmetic treatments like teeth whitening?
So really, one day I was just scrolling online, and I saw somebody doing teeth whitening.
Okay.
And I was like, I usually only have seen this in the dentist's office because I work
Yeah.
in the dental field.
Yeah.
And I was like, huh? So I got to doing my research, and then that's when I realized you don't have to be a dental professional to do teeth whitening. But I feel like with me, when you come to me, I do have a level of expertise. I'm very knowledgeable and educated on like the dental field and teeth. So
Yeah.
when people ask me questions about teeth, I'm like, oh, I got an answer for that.
Okay, good. Yeah, because I was able to ask some of my questions about sensitivity and things like that. And then I think because Karla is actually in the field, she's concerned about the comprehensive services for your teeth.
Yes, like
Yeah.
I really care.
Yeah.
And when you have questions, I'm there to answer any questions.
Okay. And how long have you been working in the dental field?
I've been in the dental field almost 6 years.
Wow.
By the end of the year, it'll be 6 years.
I didn't realize that. Okay, congratulations.
Thank you.
That's a big accomplishment. Okay. And what do you love the most about working in this field?
I love being able to, I love patient interaction.
Okay.
I love being able to just, whether it's teeth whitening or in the dentist office, I love interacting with my patients, with my clients, and just giving them a good sense of what's going on and to make them feel comfortable in what we're about to do.
Okay. All right. Good. What's a common myth or misconception that people have about teeth whitening?
That it's painful,
Oh,
or
no.
that it hurts, or it doesn't work, because it does work.
it does
And especially with me, the results are instant. So you're going to get instant results because you're under a light. It accelerates the whitening gel. That would probably be the biggest myth. Yeah.
Okay. And so what's the difference between someone coming to you? Well, actually, let me back up. Kyla's services, she actually comes to you for the teeth whitening if you
Yes.
would like that. And so that was very, very,
People like that. They
Yeah,
love,
convenient.
Yes, it's very convenient. I travel to you. If you at home, you can relax and just chill in your own vibe. I'll come to your job, like wherever you want me to. Long as we got a plug, a socket, we can get to it.
okay, a plug and a socket. All right now. So what's the difference between people using you and over-the-counter products?
So over the counter, it's gonna take a long time. Like, and I'm sure a lot of people have used whitening toothpaste, whitening strips, and you might not see any results, and it might take weeks until you see results. With me, you're gonna get your results instantly. Everybody is different.
Yeah.
Everybody's teeth shade is different. Age, depending on if they smoke, drink, take medication, that all contributes to how the outcome is going to be.
Yeah.
So people can have one or more sessions. So usually if they are at a shade where it's like further down the shades of white, let's say you feel like you're just dingy, okay, it may take you 2-3 more sessions to get this done. And usually you can get it done between 1 to 3 months. But those who are like, oh, I want my teeth to be like really white, I want to be bright, okay, well, see me next month.
Okay. Okay, so you all can sit down and schedule that together as a process.
Yes.
Now, how long do the results last?
The results last a long time.
Okay.
They do last a long time, depending on what a person's day-to-day is, depending on what you eat. If you love coffee, tea, like that all contributes to it.
Yeah.
I have people who they haven't came back because their teeth are still they're still nice.
Right.
And then I have those who come back and because they might drink a lot of coffee, a
Right.
lot of tea,
Yeah.
and they just want their smile to be bright.
Okay. All right. Are there any side effects or discomfort from the teeth whitening process?
Well, with me, I use a special type of gel, so there is no sensitivity at all.
Okay.
Most of the time, we do, and I do have the teeth whitening gel where some people may feel sensitive to it. I've used it on myself, and I had just a little bit of sensitivity after I did my treatment. Some people can experience it during. Some people won't experience any sensitivity at all.
Okay. So it really just depends on that person's teeth.
Yes.
Okay.
But as for right now, like the gel I use, no sensitivity at all, 0.
Okay. Good. Good. Have you done any? Have you done the teeth whitening on your any family members?
Yeah, I've done a lot of my family members. Especially my dad, who never wants to sit for a long time. He never wants to sit for an hour, but he did sit other day, and he let me do an hour. And he takes medication where he has tetracycline staining. It stains. You have intrinsic stains and you have extrinsic stains. And he has an intrinsic stain where the medication causes staining inside of his teeth. So it's nothing you can do about that.
Oh, wow.
But when I tell you, like within that hour, even usually he let me do like 30 minutes. It's instantly. It's
That's
instantly.
good. And I've seen his teeth. When I saw him, he had pretty white teeth. So, and I knew about the intrinsic and extrinsic stains, because I actually, had to take medicine a lot of medicine as a little kid, and it stained my teeth.
Yes.
Yeah, and so, but my teeth still look good though.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. After somebody has their teeth professionally whitened, what's the best way to maintain that new smile?
Best way to maintain it. So the saying goes, like, right after I'm done, when you get your teeth whitening, your pores are open on your teeth. So the saying is, if it can stain a white T-shirt, don't eat it. Don't drink it. So I advise, don't drink any sodas, Cokes, spaghetti sauces. I'll tell people, eat you like some Alfredo, something with white sauce, some fish, or like some chicken, something bland colored.
Okay. Something light colored or bland colored.
Yes.
Okay, that's good. Okay, good
And
advice.
after like 24 hours, you're pretty much good to eat whatever you want.
Okay, all right. What's a surprising or funny moment you experienced as a dental assistant or a teeth whitening specialist?
A funny moment. I experience funny moments every day. like I work in the dentist office and I work with kids and they are hilarious.
Okay.
So we get in there and I'm like, what toothpaste do you want? And they're just like, sometimes they get in there, they're just like super silly. It's just something funny every day, actually.
Okay. All right. And so so when you're at the dentist office, do you only work with kids or you?
I worked with, as of right now, I only work with kids.
Oh, that's
we
good.
sometimes see adults, but we see teens and children. But I've worked with adults for majority of my dental assistant career.
Okay, that's good. So, you got a variety of clients.
Yes,
Okay.
I never thought I'd be working with kids. And at first I was kind of like, oh my God, I don't know about that. But it's actually, it's fun. I love it. And it brings more of my personality out, because it's like, I'm always myself.
Yeah.
But it's like, I get to just be more childlike with kids.
Okay. And do you spend some time helping them be comfortable with being at the dentist?
Yes.
Yes.
That right there, because some kids, they come in super scared and they're nervous. And so I just talk them through it. And I'm like, this okay. I show them everything, show them all the tools. And then I tell them how to take care of their teeth when they go home.
Okay. Okay. That's good. Okay. If you could give the audience one piece of dental advice that has nothing to do with teeth whitening, what advice would you give the audience?
Brush. Of course, we know to brush, but brush and floss.
Okay.
Like, flossing really goes a long way. Like, a lot of people, they don't floss and they may forget to floss, or they just never have done it. But it's really important to build up and get food that we've ate out of our teeth, because it can get hard, and then that's how people end up getting calculus and build up on their teeth, which can lead to either cavities or even worse, like periodontal disease, inflamed gums.
And periodontal disease is expensive. Any kind of complications can end up being expensive.
Yes.
So it's better for us to brush and floss and do that. I'm gonna call it pre-care. Actually, take care of our teeth so that we don't have to spend as much down the road on our teeth.
Yes, I think it's very important to brush, floss. Just go ahead and take care of them, because even, I see children sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes, like, it starts early and they aren't doing what they're supposed to do at home. And then just working in this field, you just see how, if a person don't take care of their teeth, how it can really take a toll on them and their confidence. And I've seen people's lives change.
Yeah.
I've seen people's lives change. I've seen them happy. I've seen them sad. I've seen people get their teeth pulled out and we put a set of dentures in. It's like a whole new person, and I'm there through the journey.
Okay.
So with the teeth whitening, I'm there through the journey of before and the after, and then after they're done, they're like, oh my God. And a lot of people, once I'm done, they enjoy their results. Like, they're really happy, and it always makes me happy.
Yeah, it helps with confidence.
Yes.
Yeah.
You want to take your pictures, you want to smile in people's face, you want to be like, ah.
Are there any red flags or signs that people should see a dentist or a specialist instead of trying do-it-yourself treatments?
Yeah, I would say always go to a dentist if you have anything going on, or if you're in pain or you hurting or something like that. I would just go to a dentist. If you feel in pain, I just wouldn't even like hesitate. Just go ahead and go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. y'all got that right. Yeah. Go ahead
see a
and
dentist.
before it gets worse. Okay. What do people usually say when they see their brighter smile right after you've done a treatment, a teeth whitening treatment with them?
They're smiling all the time. Like they're smiling. They're looking in their phone. They're looking in the mirror. Like right when I tell them, okay, go rinse off, and they're like, oh my gosh, like I see a difference.
Yeah.
And don't let it be like my last client I had. I went to her house and she had her children there. So when they came in, they was like, OMG, mom. And people, like after we're done, they say like, wow, you were really great. You were very like comforting, and I love to be that for my patients and for my clients. Like I want you to be comfortable in my hands. Yeah. And just let me take care of you. I want you to relax. We can listen to music, whatever you want to do, especially if I'm traveling to you. You're in your own house. You can watch TV. All you have to do is just sit back and relax and just enjoy.
And so people may assume that because you come to them that it's more expensive. Can you give people an idea of what you charge for your teeth whitening services?
Yes. So I travel to you. I do 60-minute sessions, $175. And then I do 80-minute sessions, 1 hour and 20 minutes. That is $195.
And I remember when we used to get teeth whitening at the dentist, and it was like I was gonna say $400, $500.
Yes, and people have spent that much, and they might not even like their results. I've seen people may not like them, and I've seen some that's great.
Okay.
So, yeah, you get to, and I travel to you, so you don't even have to leave.
That's very convenient. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that more than what I thought I would. I mean, I was just at home on my couch, and then she, hooked up the machine. She put the gel on my teeth. She made sure I was comfortable.
Yes.
She showed me the shade that my teeth were. And then she showed me the shade that my teeth got whitened too.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm always checking in, like we're doing an hour session, and I'm going to keep checking in. I'm going to be looking, making sure the light, because you might move over, you might check your phone, you might want to look, and I'm right there in your face like,
Yep. She's making sure that you're hooked up right. So that's good. Okay. Do you have any events or upcoming specials coming up, or anything that you want viewers to know who are thinking about whitening their teeth?
I don't have any upcoming events as of right now, but you can definitely hit me up and text me, call me, DM me, and book your session with me, and I'm ready.
Okay.
Ready to whiten, get you white.
And it's Lux Smiles by Karla is the name of her business. And how do they contact you to schedule an appointment?
You can find me on Facebook at Karla Norman. And I also have a page on Facebook and Instagram, Lux Smiles by Karla. LUXX Smiles.
LUXX Smiles by Karla. And I'm looking forward to seeing you put some video on there too, so people can, like Karla posts pictures of the teeth whitening process. Actually, you posted video as well. Yeah, so people can, when you go to her pages, you can see her actually doing the teeth whitening and what that looks like, so you can feel more comfortable. Anything else that you want people to know about getting their teeth whitened?
You're just gonna enjoy the experience. You will enjoy the experience. Great customer service. I'm here for you, and I want you to be confident in your smile, you know. And for most people, I've whitened. It's their first time getting whitening. Like, was that your first time having a whitening?
At home, yes.
At home?
Yes.
Most people, like, that's their first time ever having their teeth whitening. So that's always great. It's an honor.
And then, like I said, it's been years. Like, I did have my teeth whitened, I mean, like years ago at the dentist's office. And so that's why I said I remember it being like $400 or $500.
Yes.
And again, I was doing that because my teeth were very yellow from taking medication. So that was a totally different experience, you know, for you to come into my home and do that. Was I a good patient?
You were. You were
Okay.
good. The only thing when I'm whitening is like people want to talk, and I'm a talker. I'm a talker myself, so like I'm gonna be like rah rah, and then you probably gonna be like yeah. And I'm like, okay, hold on, let me reposition this light. Okay, we gotta be quiet now.
Yeah. We did a lot of talking.
We did.
And you understood everything I said. There was only one time when you didn't understand me. And it was like, you know, a word that really needed to be pronounced. So, but you can't go off of my session with Karla because we're sisters, so just forget it. But anyways, she was very professional. She did make me feel comfortable, and it was a good experience.
Yes, and I always I want you to be comfortable with me.
Yeah.
Yes.
So on our show, we talk about current events as well. Is there anything that's going on in the news feeds that's caught your attention that's really stood out to you?
I can't think of anything right now. Anything that may have caught my attention? Do you have anything in mind?
Of course I do. So it was just a couple of weeks ago that the new FBI director, announced that Memphis is the homicide capital of America.
Yeah.
How did you feel about that when you heard it?
Where I feel like Memphis. Like I'm from Memphis, and you hear something every day, somebody getting killed every day, which is sad.
Yeah.
And it's kind of, I hate to say it, but it's like a normal almost. Like you just, and it shouldn't be normalized, but it's just like you hear this all the time. Like recently, I heard a guy like backed up into another guy, and he got out the car, and he was just like Superman, like I want my money now. And it was an older man. It was two older men, and then they made both of them get out the car. And who he was in the car with, he told him to get in his driver's seat, and he took the other man's car.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was on Facebook.
So it was a theft.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
So
yeah.
it's you just have to be safe out here, and I just watch my surroundings, and I just hate that like violence is just normalized.
Yeah.
So
I do think violence is normalized here, especially, well, I was gonna say especially certain levels of violence, but I mean it's all of it, and that goes from theft, burglary, all the way up to murder. But what I do want to say is that I do think that crime has increased all across the country, and not just in Memphis, Tennessee. Because we can look at all of the major cities, it's an issue. And a lot of times those cities are seen as the murder capitals or homicide capitals because there are more people in those cities than there are here. You know, so I think I would say that was one of the few times that our community heard it like that, especially coming from the FBI director. The homicide capital of America.
I've seen the videos of the trucks coming in from DC, right? I'm just like, wow.
Now, when you say that, I don't know if that was actual or if that was what they were, if they were showing video of what they planned to do. Because I'm not aware of them actually coming here yet. When the FBI director announced it, he mentioned something about the FBI coming here this summer. But that's been talked about for years, at least 5 years, in terms of the FBI coming to Memphis. So that's nothing new either. And I'm not saying it's okay for us to have crime. I'm just saying that it's crime is everywhere in America, and we all have to be more vigilant. And then we all have to be more vigilant when prices rise and the economy has changed. I mean, it does affect people, and so
And
yeah,
wages are still the same.
and yeah.
And inflation is inflating.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Yeah. Now, one of the things that, like I know, the district attorney, Mulroy, pointed out that the trend is going down in terms of crime in Memphis, and they mentioned major crime fell 9% in comparison to 2024. Wait a minute. 2025 in comparison to 2025, the same time of the year, if that makes sense. Yeah, so like a 9% decrease, which is good.
that's good, but
But go ahead and say it. That's good, but
I can't tell.
okay. So Karla,
I
Karla
don't know, 'cause
is
it's just,
saying,
you see stuff every day. So
We
it's like,
do-
okay,
yes.
I see the statistic.
we do see stuff every day, and this actually just came in my spirit. The question is, so what's gonna change it? But I want to say that everybody has to do a better job of thinking about other people. You know, that's all I really can say. And I'm gonna say this one other thing that's really important. I wanted to ask Chat GPT, which is an AI app. I wanted to ask Chat GPT, what would it take for Memphis to become safer and more progressive economically? And of course, Chat spit it right out. And the bottom line is that there isn't one solution. You know, it mentioned like 5 different things: community investment, mentoring, education. And I kind of think we already know those things. And so we have to find some ways to implement those things and work together more as a community. Now, that's something that people are used to hearing, work together more. When I say that, I mean sit down together more. We used to have more community watches and stuff like that were really active. I think we need that again, you know. And it doesn't have to be like the little blue sign that we used to have. Karla might not remember all that. We used to have a little blue sign in the neighborhood and all that. This neighborhood is being watched by the community. You remember that?
No, but I know of that though. I know of that because I never had neighborhood watch in any neighborhood. Well, where I live now, I know we do have, cameras. We got the sheriffs.
Yeah.
But never had we had like a neighborhood watch and like community come together and
Well,
neighbors getting together and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I grew up in Fraser and we had neighborhood watch, and there would be the sign letting people know, hey, we watching you. And I mean, honestly, I know it takes more than a sign, but people were working together more to watch the community.
Like, it really will take a village.
Oh yeah,
for that.
absolutely.
Like, everybody got to work together.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. And then coming together to do, when I say, I said something about everybody got to help. Everybody has to help everybody. But coming together to put a plan together to talk about specifically what do we need to do, instead of just saying we all got to help each other. What does that help look like? Who are the stakeholders, the people who can influence the most in these certain areas? Because we can just take that Chat GPT, mark it down. It can happen though. And that's another thing is that we do, in my opinion, have to get away from being apathetic and feeling like nothing that we do makes a difference. I know as a therapist that what I do makes a difference. Yes. When I work in the prisons, when I work with young people, it makes a difference. If you're already doing that, keep doing it. If you're not, find one issue that you want to work with, and then talk to somebody else about finding one issue that they need to work with. It can happen. We can make a difference and make our city better.
yeah, we can, especially, if we can come together.
Yeah.
It's going to take a village.
Okay, speak up so they can hear you. You said
It's going to take a village.
it's going to take a village. Okay. So I want to, we've already told you how to get in contact with Karla. I want to end today by dedicating today's interview to my line sister, Keisha Lusain, who passed away. She was my 24. She actually passed away on Mother's Day. And so I want to say condolences to her family, Eric Lusain, who was also a Fiskite, as well as their children and the Fisk community. I'm praying for everybody. Keisha was really a beautiful person. And then myself and Karla, we also lost Larwinette Williams, the director of the Memphis Black Arts Alliance, who we worked with very closely, especially for me, I can say at the past 5 years, I'm used to getting that phone call to say, hey, we got an event coming up, and what song we're gonna do, and practicing. And the last event that Karla and I were a part of was the Atlanta Black Theater Festival, and both Karla and I had a chance to lead songs. And so I'm speaking for Karla, but Larwinette made a big impact on my life and Karla's life as well.
She put me back in my element.
Yeah.
Like, I just remember praying one day, like, oh, I want to get back into performing and singing. I hadn't been doing anything. And then a turn of events led me to Ms. Larnett.
Yeah.
And the rest was history. And we built a close bond, like a good relationship. And I missed her.
Yeah. And Larnett was a perfect example of, at the memorial service Tuesday night, the pastor or someone asked for anybody who's ever received services or worked with or trained with Larwinette to stand, and it was half of the people in the room, and that was a big room, and it was a lot of people in there. I would say over hundreds of people stood up. So never ever discount or discredit the impact that you can make on your community. And again, my condolences to Larwinette Williams' family, as well as my line sister, Keisha Lusain's family. Both of them are loved and missed. Thank you again so much for joining Couch Convo with Coach Karla. Keep tuning in on Thursday nights at 7 p.m., as well as Friday nights, Xfinity Channel 17. Good night.